Welcome to Rearview Diaries. I'm Paul, your driver and your host and your fellow traveler through these stories. Rideshare is such a fascinating space. Two complete strangers, matched at a random, sharing an intimate space and small slice of time. Most rides begins with simple greeting. How's your day? Where are you headed? But every once in a while, the ordinary question opened the door to extraordinary stories. After my first day behind the wheel, I realized something. People tell rideshare drivers things they never tell anyone else. Maybe it's because we're strangers. Maybe because they'll probably never see us again. Or maybe because for a brief moment, they're sitting with someone who's simply willing to listen to them. Today is one of those stories. In some ways, I feel like a bartender on wheels. Today's story is double life. I picked up a passenger outside her hotel on a beautiful Atlanta morning. As she climbed into the back seat, I caught her smile in the rearview mirror. Before we'd driven more than a block, she surprised me. "Wow," she said, "you have such a happy smile and such positive energy." And I laughed. I try to enjoy every day, I told her. I'm blessed with people I love and who love me back. Every day is a gift, ma'am. She smiled. Since we were heading to the airport, I assumed she was visiting Atlanta. So I asked, "What brought you here?" She explained that she'd been attending a wellness conference focused on happiness, healing, and becoming more productive. It sounded like a wonderful reason to travel. But then something changed. Her smile disappeared. The woman who had been cheerful only moments earlier suddenly became quiet. I looked at her in the mirror. "Are you okay?" She paused. Then she took a deep breath. "I've been carrying something for a long time," she said. "And honestly, it feels good talking to someone with empathy and compassion, even you're a complete stranger." Then she added, "I'm just going to let it all out. I learned that something unusual happens inside a rideshare. Two strangers, one destination, no history together, no expectation afterward. Sometimes that creates the safest place in the world to tell the truth." I smiled and said, "What happened in this car stays in this car. Think of it like Las Vegas." And she laughed. Then she began. 2 years earlier, her entire world collapsed. She discovered that her husband had been living an entirely different life. Not just an affair, not just another relationship, another family in another city. Children, a home, completely separate existence. For over 10 years, she had absolutely no idea. She told me she trusted him completely, never questioned him, never imagined something like this would even be possible. When she finally learned the truth, it didn't seem real. At first, she refused to believe it. Then she started replaying the years of memories, the missed birthdays, the business trips, the strange excuses, the weekends he couldn't explain, different clothes, different underwear. Little details that suddenly made perfect sense. The truth finally surfaced after a friend happened to see him with another woman and children. Her friend took a picture, one photograph. That was all it took. Everything she believed about her marriage disappeared in an instant. She wanted him out immediately. The divorce happened quickly. Looking back, she admitted that she rushed everything. She was so desperate to escape the pain that she made financial decisions she regrets. She looked out the window and quietly said, "I wish I had slowed down. I should have talked to a counselor. I should have leaned on people who loved me. But I can't change the past. All I can do now is to build my future." She told me the first year was the hardest. She and her children moved from place to place. There were moments when government assistance became the only way to survive. She wondered if life would ever feel normal again. But little by little, she kept moving forward. She worked her way up in education. She built stability. She created a home. And once life finally became steady, she realized something important. She had spent so much energy rebuilding life, she had forgotten to rebuild herself. That's why she came to Atlanta, not for a vacation, for healing. She began therapy, started attending wellness workshops, read books, learned to forgive herself, and learned to value herself again. She realized something profound. If I'm emotionally healthy, she said, my children have a better chance of becoming emotionally healthy too. That became her new mission. Not pretending everything was okay, actually becoming okay. Then she shared what she said that was hardest part of all, telling her children. It took 6 months before she found the strength. How do you explain something like that? How do you tell your children their father had another family? There are no perfect words, only honest ones. Eventually, they began rebuilding together, slowly, patiently, one day at a time. Before she left the car, she smiled again. Not the same smile she had when she first climbed in, but this one carried strength, hope, resilience. She said, "I'm still healing. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm making progress. And one day my children will see that their mother never gave up." That conversation stayed with me long after I dropped her off at the airport. I always thought stories like this belonged in Hollywood movies, but there it was, sitting right behind me. Real life, real heartbreak, and real courage. I honestly don't think how someone can live two complete separate lives. One family seems like more than enough responsibility, but two? It's hard for me to imagine. It's not simply betrayal. It's years of deception, broken trust, broken promise, broken lives. But here's what struck me the most. The story wasn't really about a man who lied. It became a story about a woman who chose not to let his choices define the rest of her life. She couldn't control what happened to her, but she could control who she became afterward. And sometimes that's where healing begins. This ride reminded me that some of the strongest people you'll ever meet don't look strong at all at first. They simply keep moving forward, one difficult day at a time. Thank you for joining me for another chapter of Rearview Diaries. Until next time, live fully, love deeply, and be kind to strangers. Because everyone who steps in your life is carrying a story you know nothing about. And remember, what happens in the car stays in the car. If you enjoyed today's story, please subscribe and see other episodes. And also share with people who may need the stories. And most importantly, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you